All right, today we're putting this in there. All right, so I haven't put one of these in before, but I believe this is what I'm going to need. I've got the Camco conversion kit. I've got my cordless drill, and I've got a pipe cutter. What this actually does is allows me to put this in line with my water pump, where I can pull fresh water from the tank and feed it to the water pump, or I can turn the valve into this position and pull antifreeze through this hose when I winterize the trailer. It makes it a lot easier, because right now what I have to do is I actually have to take the connector off of the water pump and put a hose like this on and then pull the water through. This allows me to just toggle this switch to make that happen each year. So it makes the overall process easier. As with most things in a trailer, it's not always convenient to get everything that you need. Our water pump is under our bed in the back corner. So the first thing I have to do is get all the junk out from underneath the bed. Now that everything's out, I can get back to that little corner back there, open up that access panel, and get in and see the pump. So in doing this, one of the most important things to do is to identify the direction of the pump. This arrow here is a good indicator that the water is going to flow through the pump this way. But you can also tell by seeing this line coming out of the wall that's coming back here that ties in on this side of the pump. That's going to be when I'm connected to city water at a campground. If I'm pulling water out of my tank, it's going to pull in through this side and through this hose that goes down into the tank down below. It's going to pull the water up through the pump and send it out through this line, this PEX line, into the rest of the trailer. So for this project, we need to put our bypass on this side of the water pump. Alright, so now I think it's going to be easiest, instead of trying to replace this fitting here, to just cut this and then add this in line right here. I think that's probably going to be the most successful for me. So let's get to it. Go ahead and try to cut this. There we go. All right. We took this piece off of the pump. This goes into the pump, and then we were going to put this in right here. Problem, as you can see, 1/2-inch hose, 1/2-inch connector. There's no way that this is going to go over that. So I need some type of adapter like this that's going to thread onto this and go into there. And I'll need 2 of them, because I'll need one on this side and one on this side, because I'll have to put the hose on both sides. For this part that's going into that, this has got a nice screw on top, like that. But I need something for right here and something for right there. So, quick trip to Home Depot, and we'll be back in a minute. Okay, so back from Home Depot, had to get a couple of parts, had to get these little coupling units, and had to get these clamps. These coupling units, you can see them like this, and the clamps, you can see like that. The idea here is that this is going to go there. I'll need to put that on there, and if you remember, that doesn't fit, so we'll put that on there and this on there, like that, and we'll do the same thing over on this side. So the water is going to come in here, go through there, and go out to the pump, and then we'll have this side for the water fill. These little guys will clamp on there and there. Alright, so now we're going to take those little adapters that we got from Home Depot and get them connected into the part of the line that we cut off from the water pump Got to put the hose clamps on first, of course, and we get this wedged in there nice and tight, and then we put the hose clamps on and tighten that down the best that we can. All right, and that'll be our line into the pump. Now we need to take the three-way adapter and put Teflon tape on each of the three sides. This will help seal the connections up nice and tight when we put the adapters on and make it so it doesn't leak. Now that we've done that, we need to take the entire assembly and connect it back to the line that we cut in the first place out of the fresh water tank. So we put the hose clamps on the line first, and we take the assembly here and push it down into that line, and then tighten up the hose clamp. One of the hardest parts about this project is working in this little space. Trying to get this whole unit in there is a little bit tough. It's probably the hardest part here, but if we get this pushed back into the pump, we can get it seated in there just right, and then we can click it closed. Okay, so the switch is in normal mode here. We can flip it up to bypass when we're ready to winterize and flip it back when we're done. Now just to review, we've got continual flow into the pump down here on the bottom. When we're in bypass, we'll be pulling antifreeze through the straw, and when we're in normal mode, we'll pull out of the fresh water tank. Alright, with that, we have installed our winter bypass kit in our Keystone Hideout, and now we are ready to winterize.